Hello everyone, I am Revathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Tech Multitech Engineering College. Today we will discuss about the subject Database Management System. In this we will discuss one topic is SQL Fundamentals. I will welcome you all to this interesting session on SQL fundamentals. But before we get started, let's have a look at the agenda for today's session. In this, we will discuss what is SQL, what are the SQL statements out there, what is SQL process, how SQL processing, what is advantages of SQL, what is SQL data type of SQL commands like DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and DQL. Next, we will discuss what is SQL. SQL is nothing but it stands for Structured Query Language and it is used for managing and manipulating data in relational database management system, in short RDBMS. SQL enables user to perform basic operations like create, delete, update and manipulation within relational database. Also, SQL is a standard language used by various RDBMS such as MS SQL Oracle, MS SQL Server and Sybase. It provides a way to interact with the data in a relational format like tables, rows, columns, and it's commonly used for tasks such as data retrieval, insertion, deletion, and modification of database records. Then SQL also allows user to query database with basic English language. SQL commands are used to across multiple database platforms. These are the basic things in SQL. Next is what are the SQLs? SQL follows the following rules like structured query language is not a case sensitive. Generally, keywords of SQL are written in uppercase. SQL statement of SQLs are depends on the text line. We can use a single SQL statement on one or multiple text line. Using the SQL statement, you can perform most of the actions in database like table creation, data insertion, data deletion, data manipulation. Case sensitive means SQL statement are we will use uppercase, lowercase, mixed case also. However, it is a common conversation to write SQL words in uppercase for better readability. Multiple lines also is its support. SQL is a simple to use with its unit syntax. SQL queries works within the theoretical framework of database. It is flexible in terms of formatting like multiple lines. Next is what is SQL process? In the SQL process, when an SQL command is executing for any RDBMS, then the system figure out the best way to carry out this process. By using SQL engine determines how to interpret the task. In this process, various components are included. The components can be optimization engine, query dispatcher and classic, etc. All the non-SQL queries are handled by the classic query engine, but SQL query engine won't handle logic files. Next, SQL processing. The SQL process refers to how the database management system executes SQL commands. When an SQL query is issued, the system must determine the best way to process it. The SQL engine then interrupts the query and executes the necessary action. The SQL query engine is the best execution plan for given query based on various commands like optimization engine, query dispatcher, classic query engine for non-SQL query. The SQL engine handles query optimization and execution process. Next is SQL processing with detailed diagram. The process of executing data from a database is called query processing. It requires several steps to retrieve the data from the database during query processing. The actions involved below. First one is parsing and translation, next optimization, next evaluation. In this diagram, SQL query is parsed by the user, then it parses and translate by using machine language, then it optimizer is used to optimize that process, then executing what user asked those things. It retrieve data from database and give required user data in a data field. SQL processing ensures that queries are translated into executable operation. Optimizing queries helps in improving performance. Next is what is advantages of SQL. In this, first one is high speed, next no coding needed, well defined standards, probability, interactive language, multiple data view. These are the main advantages for SQL. In high speed means SQL allows faster retrieval of data from the database. Next one is no coding needed. It's a declarative language, so user do not needed to worry about the execution process. They just defines what data to retrieve. Then next, well defined standard. SQL follows extensible standard that ensure consistency access different DBMS platform. Next advantage is portability. SQL code can often be run access different data platforms with little or no modification. Next one is multiple data views. SQL also allows user to view data in many different views such as filtering, sorting and aggregation. SQL is fast and efficient for data management. These are the main advantages for SQLs. Next is what is SQL data types. In this, SQL data types is used to define the values that a column can contain with database name. Every column is required to have a name and data type in a database. Data types are used to represent the nature of the data that can stored in database table. For example, a particular column of a table, if we want to store any string value of data, then we will should declare string data type of the column. In the SQL data type, basically three things is specified. First one is string data type, next one is numeric data type, next one is date and time data type. SQL data type defines the type of a data a column in a table can store. Every column in a table is associated with data type that specifies what kind of value it can hold. Data type ensures that the data entered into a table and, and intended to some format. Next is SQL commands. SQL commands are instructions. It is used to communicate with the database. It also used to perform specific tasks, functions and queries of a data. SQL can perform various tasks like create a table, add data to tables, drop the table, modify the table, to set up permissions from users. SQL commands are the instruction used to communicate with a manipulated the database. These commands perform various tasks such as creating, inserting, querying and setting user permissions. SQL commands allows user to perform operations on the table. They enable tasks like database creation, modification and querying. Next is types of SQL commands. There are 5 types of SQL commands. First one is DDL, data definition language. Next one is DML, data manipulation language. Next one is DCL, data control language. Next one is TCL, transaction control language. Last one is DQL, data querying language. These 5 SQL statements are very important to we, we create a table, insertion of table data, manipulation and deletion process. Each command type serves a specific purpose in database management system. SQL provides a set of commands for all the database operations. In this we will discuss each and every SQL statements, how it's work with detailed examples. In this type of SQL commands, we classified DDL under create a table, drop a table, alter table and truncate table. Then DML, we can insert a data, we can update a data, we can delete a data. Next DCL, we can perform grant and revoke operation. Then TCL, we can do commit, rollback and save point operation. In DQL, we can do using a select statement for table creation, deletion, insertion, updation, modification, everything. Next is data definition language. In short, DDL. DDL changes the structure of a table like creating a table, deleting a table, altering a table, etc. All the commands of DDL are auto committed. That means it permanently saves all the changes in the database. Here are some commands that comes under DDL like create table, alter table, drop table, truncate table. In this creates a new table, database or index. Alter in the sense modifies any existing table or database. Drop in the sense delete a table or database or index. Truncate, it removes all the data from table but keeps the structure in it. DDL operations are auto committed, so it is very useful for in the DDL statement. Next is DML, data manipulation language. DML commands are used to modify the database. It is responsible for all of changes in the database. The commands of DML is not auto committed. That means it cannot permanently save all the changes in database. They can be reback. Here are some commands that comes under DML. First one is insert table, update and delete. DML commands are used to manipulate data stored in the table. First one is insert, add new rows of data into a table. Next one is update, modifies the existing data in a table. Next one is delete, removes data from a database. DML commands are not auto committed, which means you can roll back changes if we need it. Next is data control language. In short, DCL. DCL commands are used to grant and take back authority from any database user. Here are some commands that comes under DCL. First one is grant, next one is revoke. Grant, it is used to give user access privilege to a database. Revoke, next one is revoke, it is used to take back permission from the user. The DCL commands are essential for controlling who has access to sensitive data for security purpose. It gives authorized usage access. Next one is transaction control language, in short TCL. TCL commands can only use with DML commands like insert, delete and update only. These operations are automatically committed in the database. That's why they cannot be used while creating a table or dropping them. Here are some commands that comes under TCL. First one is commit, then rollback, next save point. The TCL commands deal with the management of transaction into a database. Commit saves all changes made during the current transaction. Next one is rollback. It changes made during the current transaction. Save point, set a point within a transaction to which you can later roll back. Next is data query language. In short, DQL. DQL is used to fetch the data from the database. It uses only one command, that is select. Select, this is the same as the projection operation of relational algebra. It is used to select the attribute based on the condition described by the var class. This is the syntax we can use select statement. Select expression from table var condition. This is one of the example for how var class is works. If you want to select your table from some specific we can use this statement. Select employee name is a table name from employee where age greater than 20. This DQL is used to query and retrieve data from the database. The select statement is the primary DQL command. Then this select is used to fetch the data based on specific condition and can involve join, filter, aggregation and sorting process. The select query is the most commonly used SQL command for data retrieval. These are the main things about the SQL fundamentals. In this SQL fundamentals, main data and database, then how the SQL statements are working by using DDL, DCL, DML, DQL commands. For you can, by using this we can create a table, we can alter a table, insert a table and delete a table. We can perform modification of a table. Thank you.